Okay. Hey, what's happening, everybody? Super excited to see everybody here. Looks like I have a lot of existing friends. I have some new friends. Ryan Fisher, what's up? Sean, Jennifer Kirby, what's happening? Greg, Mr. Bill Miller from across the other side of the world. What's up, brother? Nice to see you. Eric Wagner in the house. Thank you, Eric. Eric drove 9 hours to bring me a really cool gift the other day. I love it. Josh, what's going on? And everyone else that joined. So super excited for this subject. I also know why a whole lot of people will avoid attending something like this. They will avoid because they figure if, you know, your kids, when they pull the blanket up and then all of a sudden they can't see what could be coming, so they feel safe. There's a false sense of security there. And what I'm going to share tonight is everything I learned, not to create fear, to create opportunity and preparedness. So I'm glad for all of you guys that are here. Let's dig right in. You want to make sure, hey, Chris Sporton, nice to see you, brother. You want to make sure you have a pen and notepad. In normal nature, I'm going to go fast and furious. Okay. I got a lot I want to cover. I'm pretty sure we won't go past 90 minutes, but it's okay with you. I'm going to stop when I'm done. I'm not going to stop because a clock of some kind. So if that's all right, can you type in cool in the chat bar? It's 7 p.m. for me right now, and which means it's still very early. And there's actually nothing more important in my life right now than to deliver information that's going to serve somebody else. So let's get kicking here. All right. So this is all about how to recession-proof your mind. And it's one of the things I learned during, well, I did a lot of it pandemic proofing. If anybody was in my world, in my other company, CEO Warrior, during the pandemic, can you just type in yes in the chat bar so I know? And if you were in my world, I believe that we COVID proofed your mind. And if you agree with that, type in agree. Well, how do I know that? Because the industry was down 27% when COVID hit, and the average client that was in my world was up 100, and the highest one I think was 600 or 800%. So it is a point that you don't proof your mind of every situation. You have to go back through a process and understanding. And that's what we're going to do here today. We're going to recession proof your mind. Now, this training, just so you know, it's a life training, right? And help you enhance your life and get results in all areas of life. It's not a business training. And you guys know the phrase, I'm sure I'll share it throughout it. And you hear everybody saying 10x, 10x. In order to 10x anything, you got to 20x your life. However, one of my greatest awakenings was when I discovered that in order to grow anything, grow your business, a lot of people don't realize if you grow your life, your business will grow. And people that suffer in business normally focus so much on the business, their life suffers. And then what you have is two suffering areas. They don't realize this is the place to focus. That's the place to focus. Okay. Now, I'm not going to go through the disclaimers. You could take a quick picture. Here's pretty much what it says. The summary right here is anything you hear me say, you do your own due diligence. So call the president, the ambassador, call your attorneys, your CPAs, and everything else. Make sure I'm going to share information. I am guaranteeing no results at all. And I also promise on the bottom, I will not take credit for your massive results either. We will just create an awakening for you. At least that's my intention, is to create an awakening and a new set of enlightenment about your mind and opportunity. Now, this is going to be really the most beneficial for all of you if I talk with you and not at you, okay? Which means as I say something and you go, you know what? okay, I'm thinking, I'm going to take action. This is something I'm going to do now. I want you to type it in the chat bar. If you just want to tell me I'm doing a good job and making impact, you can just type in boom in the chat bar. So why don't you just type in boom real quick? At least you'll make me feel really, really good. All right. Thanks, everybody. I feel really, really good anyway. The economy, I believe, at least in the US, is about to fall off a cliff. All right. It's going to happen soon because, and there's really nothing you can do to stop it, but you can be prepared. The wrong time to be prepared is the wrong time to figure out how to defend yourself is when you're in the middle of a fight, right? That's the wrong time to start training. In Canada, well, look, I think, you guys tell me in the chat bar, did the Russia and Ukraine thing, did that affect a lot of the world or just that part of the world? Tell me in the chat bar, what did it do? Everything, just remember the earth is one big ball as far as we know. So there's not a separation in space, which means what happens somewhere affects everywhere eventually. It's the ripple effect, right? But you can be prepared. And I've lived and worked and grown through multiple recessions. So unlike a lot of people that try to teach stuff, I always say it's like the overweight gym teacher trying to tell you how to be healthy. Like, doesn't make sense. I'm talking from a perspective of living through it, growing companies through it, maintaining a life through it. And I'm going to show you exactly some things that you can do. And it's not just about recessions. Here's what I learned. What I'm going to teach you tonight, like pandemics, 9/11. I mean, how many things have some of you went through? And we'll be able to apply all of this there. Now, most of you know my story, but if you heard it, it's always cool. And I'm going to give you the mini version. Okay, so this is me struggling. This is me young and crazy. This is me bidding jobs. And this is me marrying this beautiful woman. There, you have everything about me where it started. Okay, I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to try to figure it out. And I also know what it's like to win. Here's some things that I did differently. And I want you to consider doing this too. This is me thinking deeply. And I don't think a lot of people want to think deeply today, because when you think deeply, you have to face the reality. If you think that's true, can you type in true in the chat bar? Like some people, here's how you know, Sean, that like people don't want to think deeply. People who are constantly doing things a million miles an hour, they're always doing something, is avoiding something. I promise you. I always say this when I do individual coaching, Eric, for like men, if I'm in like just the men's group and I go, what'd you do? They go, oh, I was cutting the lawn. I said, you love to cut the lawn or you love to avoid your wife because she's going to give you something to do if you're not cutting the lawn. And they always go, yeah. I said, okay. So here's one of the things about what I did differently. I thought deeply and stopped avoiding the difficult conversations in my mind. Let me say it again. I stopped avoiding the difficult conversations in my mind. I also started to look at the trends and cycles of things. I don't believe history repeats itself, but I do believe that history can show up in a very similar manner. Why do I say it can't repeat itself? Because as far as I know, we don't have a time capsule, which means we cannot have the same experience at the same exact time and space. And then the other thing was, that's my son. This is one of my favorite pictures. My son's in the ninjutsu outfit. I'm in my martial arts gear there. I made sure that not only did I focus on thinking, I focused on creating outcomes. We were probably going to walk fire that night or something like we did with Bill Miller in Australia a long time ago. I focused there and I looked and said, what do I have to get real with? And I want you to get real a little bit tonight too. Now, look, you wouldn't be here if you didn't think some of the shifts paid off, right? I told someone before today, like, look, I'm with my wife since I'm 15. We understand ups, downs, backups, downs, and everything in between. That's a part of a relationship, right? I deal with her when she's on her up and down. She deals with me when I'm on my up and down. Okay. So it's a fun, people like roller coasters because would anybody go on a roller coaster if it was just straight like a train? Like they might go from point A to point B, but sure the hell no thrill on that, right? And just here's some cool young pictures of my son and daughter. But of course, they're all grown up now. They're all grown up. So if anybody, my son's 22 and Bill Miller hasn't seen him when they were little. Now he's 22 and he is martial arts instructor, fitness instructor. So if anybody needs to get in shape, which I'll tell you, a lot of people seem to need that today, he could do it virtually or in person. And my daughter is 20 and she's doing her own virtual yoga business. So if anybody needs to get their yoga on, to get their mind on, reach out to me and I'll make a connection. Now, of course, these paid off. I wouldn't be teaching you about recession if you don't know how to navigate huge change. It is very hard to build a $32 million business because you would be growing, then get punched in the face, growing and get punched in the face, right? So I think the important thing there, and understand, I'm not here to brag. I'm not impressed with myself. I'm here to share, but if I don't share some perspectives, why would you listen to me? I never had a down year. I never had a flat year in business. The minimum we made extra year was $1 million additional. I think that's important because we're talking about recessions that could take money away, take profit away. And we were able to manage it, not only manage it and grow. And of course, a lot of you probably know I sold Gold Medal Service, signed my name and walked away. And another client of ours just did that on Monday, which I'm super proud of. And that was to a private equity company. Now, private equity companies and companies you sell to love that you know how to navigate the waters. Then I worked on this, growing, and this worked out really well, growing the highest level training and implementation organization on earth, as far as I'm concerned of, called CEO Warrior. And a lot of people on here I know are clients of CEO Warrior. And I also did a huge acquisition there to bring in partners to help that grow even bigger and more powerful and take it global. And that's fun. But here's how the other shift paid off. These two areas here, and here, these were just training, everybody. These were training for me to get here for you today. That's what all those years were training for me. I was talking to a friend of mine, Dan Cashel, and I was sharing with Dan the endorsement we just got from Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank. And I said, it's so great to get it. And, it's one of those things you're super proud of. And he goes, yeah, you're proud. You didn't just do that. He said it was 3 decades of working on that just to get that endorsement. He goes, it wasn't a 1 week, a 2 week. He goes, it was 3 decades for you to get to the point. So now I've been training to get here. This is why I'm here with you today, not only to impact 1 million people or more in 100 countries or more. We want to do it in a decade or less. And the way that we're going to do that tonight is by making sure that you become recession proof in your mind. Now, some of you that are newer in my world, you're like, what the hell is a FuDog, right? FuDog, what? Well, here's the thing. These are pictures of FuDogs. One, they're very mystical. Type mystical in the chat bar if you're a pretty mystical person. Are you pretty mystical? I think you're pretty mystical. Like, do you even understand the capacity of your brain? Do you know where the beginning and end of time is? Do you know exactly how many planets there are? Do you know if there's other species out there? You have no idea. That makes it a very mystical world, and you very mystical. And if you know you're mystical, tell me in the chat bar, is there a possibility you have a lot more power inside of you than you even realize? Type in power in the chat bar. Is that possible? I guarantee it. I watch it over and over again when people start to embrace the mystical things that are out there and the power that can come. And then we create this balance. That's the reason why there's 2 FuDogs, right? There's 2 because there's a male and a female. And there's a very balance between these 2. And I want to create balance inside your mind today for what we're talking about. Now, I know there's always somebody that like comes in, either they don't know about this or, oh man, they got to bounce off early. And I like to give extra things right up front. I just want to give you gifts right here. If you are not in this Facebook group, my team's going to put, there it is, the link in there. That's how fast they are. Great job, Aaron. There's all kinds of cool trainings that we just put in there. If you could please make sure, one of them I think is really important for you right now, if you haven't watched in a while, is this one on the bottom called the Money Cure. Okay, these are all good. Human engineering, level fit, they're all good. They're all free. This is a free group. Go in there, invite people to it, please, because the more we get people, like-minded people, the more we could bring other people in and serve them. So if that's fair, can you type in fair in the chat bar? Would you do me a favor and just invite one caring human or someone that needs a little support? Let them in my world. Let them in my wife's world, Aaron's world. Let us serve them in the FuDog world. Now, this, I told the market a little bit about it, but I'm going to tell you about it, okay? We have a cool thing coming out. It's called FuDog.tv. It's like Netflix for your personal growth and mindset. If you think that's awesome, type in awesome in the chat bar. We've been working really, really hard on it. Now, eventually, I'll probably have to charge something for it because it takes money to maintain it. But right now, if you're the first one of the first 500, I know we got hundreds in already, then it's going to be free for you. And you're going to have tons of training on demand for you to solve any problem. So I'm super excited about it. You must know what it takes to build the Netflix for the personal growth. Now we're not directly attached or in business with Netflix. We're just using it as a reference of what we're trying to build, or I shouldn't say try, what we have built, and we're getting ready to open the doors. And the last thing I want to share with you guys, because I'll share this again at the end, and please understand, I think anybody in my world, I'm not selling you nothing. This is just an invitation if it fits. I'd rather get it out of the way now, so we'll focus on other stuff. If while we're going through this training, you're saying to yourself, hang on a minute, Mike, I realize that in order to get my desired life I want, my identity has to probably shift and change. Probably. I mean, your identity changed. How many of you are parents? Type in parents. Your identity changed when you were a parent. Your identity also changed if you got punched in the face during a recession. Your identity for a lot of people have changed through the pandemic. How many people, I know you're a grandparent, Bill, how many people through COVID have been forced into a fear identity? Type in fear if you think there's any truth behind that, right? Their identity has become worried, scared, alarmed, right? And they become fear. Well, this training that I got coming up right here, we'll give you a link to. It's all about identity. So just so you know, if you're willing to give 2 nights a week over 2 different weeks with me, it's all guaranteed. I'll help change your life. And what I'm really going to help you do is get you. And if anybody on here has attended Change the Channel before, could you just type in the chat bar what it's like? Because I could say, of course, I'm not going to talk bad about it because I work really, really hard to shift people. But hearing from you is better. Sherry says, amazing. Jennifer Kirby, it was great. Yeah, awesome. Appreciate that, guys. And Jason Kirby, awesome. Here's what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we elevate every area of the life wheel. I'm going to show you the life wheel in a little bit. The reason why I'm showing you this up front is 2 things. 1, I want to get out of the way, but 2, in the end, by the end of this training, okay, by the end of this training, I know that a lot of you are probably going to go, wait, I need an identity adjustment, and we'll get that done. And so, and any of you, you're in New Jersey on those dates, no problem. We could get your replay if you're into it. You also, it's nighttime, so maybe it still works out for you. And we gave a special promotion pricing here for you guys on this training tonight, which look, for $597, you could have 2 people come and attend it. If you're one of those people where you like some more bells and whistles and training, it's $897. And the last one is $2,997. Doesn't matter to me what you do. I just want you in my world. Plus, what we also did, if you know, I did a post about it the other day. If you have somebody that's 17 to like 23 years old, and you think that you would love for them to have this training, but maybe they can't afford it, send them to us. And I think we have 7 more spots. We will sponsor them ourselves. Okay. If that's cool, can you type in cool? We'll sponsor them. Because if I could impact, it's one of the things my wife and I have been able to do. We've sent people, my son to Dale Carnegie. We sent my niece to Dale Carnegie. We paid for a lot of people to go through training. So if this training's not for you, maybe you'll sponsor someone. Okay, let's get into things. If you're ready to do this, just type in, let's do this. Now, evidence of a recession. Okay, well, it's pretty fair that we've been going on an expansion in most of the world, right? I mean, if you look at a lot of the activities out there, right? Economic activity, very robust, right? Low interest rates, rising prices, rising gas prices, right? All of this stuff here, high inflation, easy access to money, loose loan qualifications, businesses are growing, businesses are hiring, everyone is buying, right? Low capacity, low inventory, everyone's traveling, and lots of consumer confidence. Boom, right? Rocket ship, baby, rocket ship up. But hang on a second here. What do we start seeing here now? Economic activity, well, declining. You tell me in the chat bar, put in rising if you're seeing interest rates rising a little bit. Are they rising? Type in rising or nod your head for me. What about stagnant pricing, right? How about gas prices? Gas prices, are they rising? Type in rising if they're rising or type in gas. Okay, let me make a quick indicator. 2008, gas prices over $4 a gallon. And after 2008, within 3 months after, everybody, tell me what happened. Put your thumbs like this, thumbs down. What happened? Thumbs down, right? Yeah, we entered in what they said was a recession, as close to a Great Depression as possible. Type in the gas prices where you're at right now. Let's see where the gas prices are now. Good way to put it. Economy shit the bed. Yes. Okay. Then we have low inflation or even deflation, right? We have reduced access to money. Things get tightened down, tight loans, businesses start to struggle. And I'm going to talk about business in a minute. Fewer businesses hiring. I know you're hiring now. People hold on to money, high capacity, high inventory. People reduce travel and very low consumer confidence. Okay. Now, I realize that the pandemic, as scary as it was, made a lot of you wealthier because people still needed your services. Because a lot of people didn't travel. Tell me over the last 2 years, traveled very little, a lot, or incredibly amount. Type in the chat bar. What did you travel? Okay. Okay, very little. Tell me how much money you saved from vacationing less. You didn't go to different weddings. You didn't fly all over the place. How did you save some money? Type in money. Of course you did. So you had money to go buy stuff. In a recession, people have to use their money, which means there's no extra money to be thrown all over the place. Here's how I tell people about my experience in 2008. We did plumbing. And if you had 3 toilet bowls and 1 broke, guess what they did, Ryan? They put a do not use this toilet on the toilet bowl because they had 2 more toilets because they didn't want to spend the money to fix the toilet. That's my experience. Should you fear that? No, because I'm going to teach you what to do here. I'm going to teach you how to make sure you're mine. The self-fulfilling effect on the economy is normally this, right? So we have this whole bracket, we talked about things. And then the market, the world turns into a state of fear. And as a result, people worry and they wait. And what do you think this cycle is for the world? Do you think this is a growing evolution or a declining? What do you think? Type in the chat bar. It's declining, right? It's declining. The more fear, you want to write this down. The greater the fear, the greater the paralysis. The greater the fear, the greater paralysis. If you don't know what paralysis is, that's when you are literally deer in the headlights, stuck. You're stuck, right? It's like you found out, like when I found out, most people, when they found out they have COVID, they either, I said, okay, well, after I was quarantined in this house, we got my wife in a different home, and all of a sudden I'm sitting there and I go, what are you going to do? Paralysis? I just said, let's experience this thing. And it was, I'll tell you, it was a hell of a ride. I'm sure some put like punch to your body if you felt a little bit of COVID, like physically went through that. I mean, it was 8 days of fever for me. I was fist fighting with that thing, but it was okay. I didn't have fear about it because I trusted my mind, my body, my spirit. I trusted things. So let's write down a note. We will not let fear take control. Okay, write that down. You can write it as I for you. I will not let fear take control. Now, when you look at fear, people don't know the effects of it. Let me share some of the effects of fear that happen during a recession and through situations. First, over here, under wealth and finance, wealth does not grow because the more fear, the less you focus, right? Your career goes at risk. This is what happens, right? Your health is ignored during bad times, right? When recessions come in, stress eating comes in. Is anybody a stress eater? I do that some. Type in stress eater if you do that some. Do you have more fun? No, you have less fun in recreation. You don't feel peace, right? You can't contribute. You're not going out helping people all over the world because you're worried you might not have enough for your world. You get family stress. There's stress in the marriage. You get stagnant, no time to learn, and then you focus on solving problems instead of being present. I watch people when recessions come in, pull back. Any wealthy human on earth, and maybe on Mars or somewhere, will tell you when recessions come in, you do not pull back. You strategically plow forward. Let me say it again. You do not pull back. You strategically go forward. The first thing people did in business when I did, everybody was telling me, pull back on marketing, pull back on marketing. I said, hell no. When the ocean pulled back, I started building buildings into the ocean. I put foundations in. So guess what? When it started the flip economy, who was the number one there? The person who didn't pull back. I doubled down on my training, my learning, my education, my business building, my motivation, my serving people. I smashed forward into it. If that makes sense, can you type in make sense? Because I want to really make sure you hear this. And now we're going to start going into what are the strategies we got to do. I don't want it to be just philosophical, like Confucius. I just come here and big Kung Fu master on the mountain, pulling my long Kung Fu beard. Well, it's not that long. I keep trimming it, but it's gray like it. It's getting there, right? I want to give you strategies. The world is driven by fear. You do not have to buy into this thought pattern like the rest of the world. You don't have to. Start by thinking different, but write this down. Reframe my thoughts. Reframe my thoughts. Okay? So people go like this. Here's what a lot of the world says. They say, there's a terrible recession. You turn and go, I choose growth. I choose growth. Right? Everything is down right now. Ready, Ryan? Wait, there are many sectors of the economy that grow. I don't choose that. It's hard to borrow money. I create creatively access to resources I need. You tell me what side you want to be on. I could lose my job. Wait, there's lots of opportunities for hardworking people. Lots of it, right? I could lose my life savings. Wait a minute. Massive fortunes are created during recessions. Everything is bleak. What? I find inspiration and opportunities daily. You know what you should probably do? You probably should take a picture of this, just cut out the right side and read this every morning when you wake up and every night before you go to bed. What do you think? Right? Okay, a recession is a difficult time. Now is the perfect time to learn and prepare. Right now. I am scared. Wait a second. I am excited. And I don't know what to do. Wait a second. I learn from people who have survived and thrived in every economic situation. That's why you're here, because I want you to have this reality and not this reality. Tell me what your big takeaway is so far since we started. We're 32 minutes in. This thing's going to go like a blur, and I want it to be an incredibly transformational experience for you. Reframe. It's all mindset. It's all mind growth, Kevin. It's all about mind growth. Okay. Mindset means we might be stuck in our ways. Mind growth means expanding, expanding, expanding. Let's go for number 2. Okay. Raise the ceiling of your life. Now, here is your life right now, right? This is your life. But what would your life be, right? With a higher ceiling here, right? And the difference is, don't settle for less. Chase after more. Chase after more. What does that look like? Higher expectations, higher level of focus, greater drive, more actions, elevated perspective. Learn and surround yourself with experts. I would add something in here. High level integrity experts. Integrity experts. Some people say gas is too expensive. I say create so much wealth that you don't worry about the price of gas. Which one would you like? I feel a little frequency education coming on right now. A little energy. Should I talk about energy a minute? Type in energy if you can handle a little bit of it. Should we talk a little energy? Okay. I'm going to give it to you fast and furious. Words are a vibration. Got it? Words are a vibration. The vibration, okay, either pushes things away or pulls things towards you. Depend on the word. If I'm out there saying gas is too expensive, I didn't say, wait a second, the people that pump the gas, they have to get paid. The people that are out in the fields getting the gas, the people that deliver the gas does create an economy. All you focus on is the pain and punishment. Tell me what vibration you're bringing to you. Are you bringing abundance to you or pain and punishment? Probably. Type in the chat bar, pain. Your language creates everything. Now, will your language lower the price of gas? Well, I don't know, it could help, but we probably need everybody to think this way. That's why I'm always like, you could imagine, can I tell you my frustration? Type in frustration. Can I just share with you a minute my pain and suffering here? I'm sitting here giving information to change the effing world on how people think, but they won't even give themselves 90 minutes to change. That's my pain and suffering, just so you know. Costs nothing for this right now. If they just think a little different, next time someone goes, oh man, look at the price of gas, they're going to be like, no, I'm not entertaining that, because I don't want that to stick to me. I don't want your language, what you're attracting, to stick to me of pain and suffering. Right? Okay. If you're ready for number 3, let's type in number 3. Say, let's do it. I got to crack the window here. 1 minute. Okay. We're good now. I start to heat up like a drill bit. You got to cool it down or it'll burn out. You know what I mean? All right, let's do it. Okay. So now if we focus on enhancing, enhancing all areas of our life, all areas, okay? First enhancement under wealth and finance, we're right here, is there are many opportunities to invest in during a recession. Many, 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 okay? Write this down, you ready? Wealth, bless you, Mr. Ryan Fisher. Wealth does not disappear. It just slightly moves to another location. Okay? Catherine, capture that one. That's a good quote. Okay? Wealth does not disappear. It just slightly moves to a different location. All right, I'm going to think of a book that all of you should read right now. Type in the book I'm sending to you. There's one book that applies to this. What's the book? Besides my books, which I think I wrote 18 now. None of those. It's someone else's book. There you go. Brian Jewett in the house. Who Moved the Cheese? If you haven't read it in the last year, read it in the next week. If you haven't read it in the last year, read it in the next week. It talks about, it's just, the money's just moving. Okay. Now in your career and work, okay, I will become invaluable at my job. If you're invaluable at your job, if your company is invaluable, will they go anywhere else? No, they won't. They will only come to you. Yeah, Kevin, we could, we'll get that dialed in for you. Okay, health and fitness. Now, you have to keep focusing on your health. Who thinks, let's be real. We're friends. I know most of you, so no need. There's no judgment here. Who is sacrificing their health for other stuff? And they probably got to focus on that shit right now. Okay, thank you for your honesty. Now, I always get choked up when I talk about this, but like I had a very good friend and client from the backyard when I started CEO Warrior. That's almost 8 years ago. This guy was like a brother to me, okay? They're fighting in the mud in my backyard. And he's only 50-something years old, growing a great company, Dustin Folks. He's dead. He's dead. My friend is dead. Tell me what all that, like, what was important was wealth. What should have been important? You got to fix that side so the wealth doesn't just go to other people, that you can enjoy it. Is it like convenient? No. Has it been convenient for me to do martial arts almost my whole life? Ed, it's not convenient, but it's mandatory. It's not convenient, but it's mandatory. And people tell me they don't have time. Oh, yes, you have time. Shit, my son will get on at 9:30 at night and put you through a workout virtually. Sure, you could come out here and go on the beach. He was training someone on the beach the other day. If you don't dedicate that time, well, Aaron, type in the quote I said the other day about the man with 1,000 dreams or whatever. I think it's the man with 1,000 dreams with a health issue only has one. It's something like that. I mean, Joe Polish is the first one that I heard who told it to me, and it impacted me. He'll put it in there. Now, fun and recreation, right? Like, you want to keep having fun. Well, you got to do things to keep having fun, right? And place and sacred place. This is your home. You have to create an environment that serves you. If your home is like constant state of bills everywhere, and instead of, when you next time have a big pile of bills, okay, just write a little note like, I am excited to use these services. Reframe the way you think about bills, right? Aaron wrote in there, those who have their health have 1,000 dreams. Those who do not or does not have only one. You guys should all write that one down real quick. And you should sticky note that shit if you got to get yourself in gear, right? Okay, community and contribution. Keep planting seeds of contributing to your community. A lot of people pull back. Well, this is how you're going to enhance your life, right? You're going to enhance your life. I've enhanced a bunch of people's lives, and wow, so many things have been going on for us over here. I mean, doors have been opening, and now a lot of you may not know, some of you probably do. Like, not only do we have the FuDog Group business that helps people change the way they think, behave, act, their relationships, their health, their mind, their body, their spirit, and everything else. We have another company that's an investing company where we help invest in companies that help them grow, right? Why? Because if I help them grow, they'll contribute more to the world. Just like I help so many people grow and sell and become wealthy too, right? And over here, serve your family. Just so you know, when recessions hit, your family is looking at you for what? Type in the chat bar. Leadership, strength. If your mind is in the gutter, where's your family going to go with you? They're going to go in the gutter with you. Everybody's going to whine. Hang on one second, guys. This door. I hear my wife sending me messages through her mind because the wind blows that door. So I got it, babe. I heard your message through your mind. That's what happens after all these years together. All right, next one. Spend time with your spouse. Okay, they got to get aligned. You have to stay connected, and you have to keep learning and remain present and connected to whatever you believe in. Presence in spirituality is whatever your belief is. In recessions, people lose belief. I call it selective religion. Selective religion is you pray when things are going bad. You don't do anything when you only pray when things are going bad. You don't pray when things are good, right? It's like selective. Oh, now I'm going to pull out that card. No, making sure you're connected to what means something to you. It doesn't matter to me because I'm a believer. Whatever means something to you, I'm all supporting for you. Long as it's not killing people, hurting people, damaging people, I'm all for it. Tell me what part of this strategy 3 about enhancing all areas of your life is really resonating with you. Tell me in the chat bar. Learning, yes. Health, got it. Come on, who else? Family, right. Health and spouse, yeah. If you're not getting connected, if you're not getting closer, you're getting further apart, right? There's no standing still, right? There's no standing still. You're either getting closer or you're moving further apart in all areas. In your health, if you're not getting closer to enhancing your health, you're moving further apart. Now, we have some resources. If anybody needs it, you could, you know what, Catherine? Give a phone number and email in there. If any of you need resources to stuff we have, like we have some health resources. We have a little platform. We built a whole post-COVID protocol, and we have some different things like that, resources, check your blood. We got all kinds of cool shit at FuDog. If we can help you with any way, you just reach out to us for anything you need. Did you ever hear the Uncle Louie story? Type in Uncle Louie if you never heard the story. Did you ever hear the Uncle Louie story? Okay. FuDog's your Uncle Louie. Here's my dad had this Uncle Louie or something. And everybody that he always needed something, he always called this one uncle, right? He always had somebody that knew everybody. Do you have somebody like that, a relative or an uncle that knows everybody? Rob's partner's like that. Ernie's a guy knows everybody. I just want to be that connection for you so that if you need something, I don't care what it is, just reach out to us. If we have a connection, we're going to serve you. If that's fair, can you type in serve? Because that's all we want to do is help you. We want to remove suffering and help you navigate not only what's coming, but we want you to keep winning, because the more you win, the more you serve your family. The more you serve your family, type in the word in the chat bar. Ready, everybody, Sean? Type in the word legacy. Legacy. I know all of you want a legacy. You're just maybe not there or defined it yet. Okay, let's go for number 5. You know, I'm an action person, right? I'm a big believer in action. Let me connect a new dot for some of you today. Ready for a new dot? You could only take action at the level of your current identity. Got it, Ed? Easton, got it? You could only take action at the level of your identity. See, when I was young and started, let's see, I was 22 when I got my electrical license, somewhere around there. Gold medal service was created around, I was 23, 24. You know, the whole thing was a lot of people at that time, they're thinking, you're too young to have a business. You're too young to start a business. Everybody I worked for was twice the age. But I created an identity that helped me take massive action. Now, what do you want to take action on? One, a big target. A big target. See, if you have a big target in the future and you're laser focused on this target, guess what? You'll move right through the recession. You'll punch right through it because you have a big target you're going for. You'll be prepared for how to think through it and about it. Through it and about it. You'll also have a big inspiring why. A big inspiring why, right? This thing of what you want to do. Like, what's a big inspiring why? Legacy? Is legacy a big? Maybe you want to change starvation on the planet? Change the water quality? What is a big inspiring why? These two things can connect together, right? Aaron put in like, we do 1,000-year vision. 1,000-year vision. How cool would it be? We go out 1,000 years and backtrack right to this moment in time, and you could see all the catalyst actions, all the catalysts that happen just from this training. Type in cool if that would be pretty cool. Wouldn't that be cool? Well, guess what? Your stuff you're learning doesn't stop in 10, 20, 50, 100 years. It keeps going because you then told someone else. And then they told someone else, and they told them, and then you taught your kids this, and they taught their kids, and then it just kept moving and building momentum. Now, the other thing about massive action is expanded thinking. Expanded thinking. And you can only expand at the level of your identity and the level of learning you have. I love when people think they have it all figured out. You know, they think like there's no more, they got it all figured out. I'm like, okay. Well, like last year, I invested over 100 and something thousand in my own education. And I think I've got some stuff figured out. See, you never have it all figured out. You're always in a state of evolution. And you're always in a state of working on pushing your identity out further. I got to slow this one down. Ready? Pushing your identity out further so your desired result catches up to you. It's a lot quicker that way. Most of you are trying to get your life goals by figuring it out as you move forward. You didn't connect the dot that, wait a second. If I embody and take on the identity of a relationship that stays together forever, what do you think is the chances that that will stay together forever? Very good chances, because your identity is that. If your identity is, I'm trying to figure it out as we go, chances are going to separate. And then there's the fun gift, everybody, of the two identities. My identity, my wife's identity, right? Now, if my identity, tell me if you experience this, but if your relationship's on here, maybe tread lightly or something, I guess. I don't think you'll get in trouble, but if your identity is growing and entrepreneurial and you're building things and creating things, and your partner's identity is I'm comfortable, I'm stagnant, I'm all right, I'm looking to retire and stop, type in the chat bar, how do you think this will work out? Or type in if you can relate or could relate at any time in your life. Could relate? Yeah. I mean, I could tell you how this ends up almost every single time. There's one of two outcomes that happen. One, they start to evolve, you'll start to connect, you'll grow together. Or two, one will keep evolving and the other one will die. Not physically die. They'll die, meaning they'll separate from you. Eventually, you will get a day you cannot relate at all. You're talking about a bigger world. You might be, I'm pretty sure, and you guys hold me to it. I'm pretty sure when I'm like 100 years old, I'm not choosing to sit there, dribble, and stare at a tree. I'm pretty sure, unless I'm creating a new way to do something with this tree, like shoot it to Mars or something. We'll probably already be on Mars, so I'll probably be plant trees there or something, right? You need to make sure that this identity is growing for the relentless action. Now, unstoppable momentum. Okay, how important is this during a recession? People hear gas and problems and situations and they start to slow down, move a little slower, worry a little more, take a little longer. Exhausted, because you know that thing, I should buy one of those, right? But I don't want any more stuff. I want to get rid of stuff in this house. But watch, you know that thing, Ryan, you go like this, you pull the ball and it goes tick, 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 tick. Momentum's got to go. Every now and then it slows down. If you just go stop, it will stop. It won't move by itself. So now you got to pull it again, tick, tick, and you move it. See, when you know it's starting to slow down, that's the time, boom, momentum, get it going. Your identity and these other ones we tackled creates the momentum of you moving forward. It creates greater momentum. When you have momentum, you have this inertia. And inertia is a term that means once you get momentum, it keeps pulling you faster with very little energy and effort. Isn't that what you want from life? Don't you want like unstoppable momentum, inertia, without feeling fatigued? Tell me in the chat bar. Yes? Isn't that what you want? So you don't feel fatigued? And then there's unwavering focus. Unwavering focus. The real disease today, I know there's a lot of diseases, but let me make my point, and hopefully I don't, ruffle anybody's feathers here. But here's my point. I think the real disease is focus. You mean to tell me, hang on a second here. Hang on. Ready, Aaron? You tell me we could put a rocket ship that flies years and years and years, lands on Mars, takes pictures, but we can't solve cancer? Come on now. Really? It's a focus thing. It's a focus thing. Think about any time you had a situation. I guarantee you either didn't focus on preparing for it in the future or you're not focusing on now. Anything you put focus on expands and grows, good or bad. Is that true? Like if I focus on bad things, gas prices, problems, you know how many times I hear people saying this? Some of you aren't going to like this. It's okay. You want hurtful truth or you want me to give you a bunch of comforting lies tonight? What do you want from me? Okay. People say this, Sean, they go, not enough people. There's no people. People don't want to work. People suck. Bye-bye. No. You're not good. That's all. You're not good at getting people. Because if we add up all the people in the world, there's billions of people on earth. There's no lack of people. There's lack of focus and skill set for you to get the people. The people aren't coming to people because they don't believe you're a powerful enough human. Because if you were a powerful enough human, everybody would run to you. Is that true? Type in true. Or give me, I don't know, is there an emoji that flipped me the middle finger or something? You won't offend me. I'm here to tell you what other people won't tell you. Okay? Everyone else could feed you to kumbaya stuff. I'm not here to give you kumbaya. I'm here to prepare you. So if the recession comes, once we're out of it, you turn around and go, holy shit, Mike, you remember you did that training? I listened. This was smooth sailing, baby. It was an opportunity for me. I bought homes, I built things, I grew my company, I built my relationship, I improved my health. You'll be sending me pictures of your muscles and shit, right? That's what we're talking about here. In the end, it always comes back to this. You can only take the amount of massive action based on your identity. Okay? If your identity is not in the future, how the hell are you going to take action? You can't. All right. Number 6, tell me your big takeaway from that. What was most powerful just now that we just did? Be a magnet to others. Yes. Focus. It's up to me. Of course. It's up to you until you align others. Then it's up to all of you, right? Identity. Yeah. How do you create a super magnet? Here's how you create. Okay. I say this all the time, but I never know who heard it. So let me let you hear it again. You know the term manifestation, right? Type in right in the chat. Type in right. You know it, manifestation? Okay. People always act like manifestation, it's like I have to sit there and go, okay, create gold. I'll manifest. No. You don't turn off manifestation. The only way manifestation turns off, you die, your brain's dead. And even then, we could argue that your energy field is still, and your consciousness is still doing something. We won't go that deep here. Let's just say when I go to sleep, I'm creating things. When I wake up, I'm creating things all the time. Why? Because your brain is constantly running your identity, your thinking processes, and it's either bringing what you want towards you or pushing it away. That should be a big boom in the chat bar, please, for manifestation. Now, let's talk about creating this new identity. You're like, okay, Mike, I got it. New identity, new identity. Step one, be really truthful where you're at right now. Real truthful. If you were truthful tonight and you were to admit in the chat bar with all of us here, what is one thing right now, one thing that you think that you know that this is not moving you forward, it's holding you back? What is it? Gas prices, you bitch and complain, you don't own the electric company, kids leave the lights on. What is it? Everybody has one. Focus, baggage, procrastination, fear, lack of fitness and good diet, noise. Thank you for your honesty. Working too hard, right? Okay, once we could really say, this is where I'm at, you have to be willing, number two, right here, you have to be willing to change, to remove. Okay, see all those things you posted? Tell me if any of those things you posted, if you have a little guilt, trauma, programming. Do you have any guilt or trauma there? Shame? Do any of you have shame over some of that? Right? Shame, like, oh my God, what level are you? I'm level 51. Okay, I'm level 51, 51 years old, but I would never say old. I only say that I'm level 51. Okay. And if you're level 46, level 58, like if you're living with shame, is shame moving you forward or holding you down? It's holding you down. Is it improving your identity or killing your identity? It's killing your identity. And you know what? Shame happens the minute you were shamed and you understood what shame feels like. See, when a kid's like 3 years old, maybe 2 years old, like who has a boy, has a son? Type in son. Type in son. When you have a son, and how many of you experienced? Now, I was one of those dads, I changed diapers. Did any other dads, did you change diapers? Type in diapers. I was a diaper changer. I wanted to figure out the fastest way to change a diaper, put fucking cream on. Like I studied the art of diapers because everything has to be a system for me. But I remember the time you forgot to put the little washcloth. Okay, type in the chat bar. What happens when you forget to put the little washcloth? Tell me what happens, everybody. No, you don't get a rash. You get pee. You get peed on, right? You get peed on. And yeah, you get squirted, right? And when the baby pees on you, you think that baby has any shame? The baby starts laughing. It's got pee on you, pee on itself, pee on the floor. Kids there, no shame, no shame. So you only take on shame and guilt once you learn and you're told, bad. You drew on the wall with crayon. That's bad. You should have guilt over that. You should be, okay, look, I don't know if I said it. I probably did somewhere in my life. I'm trying to think. But I know my parents said it. Has anybody ever said this to you? You should be ashamed of yourself. Type shame in the chat bar. Anybody ever said? You should be ashamed of yourself. Have you watched the movie Game of Thrones? Game of Thrones, when the queen's walking down, shame, shame, shame. Now, you may not think shame affects your identity. You don't have to be a rocket science to figure this out. Do you think shame and trauma and guilt affect your identity? Tell me in the chat bar. Do you think it affects your identity? Of course it does. It affects everybody. And there's so many different shame views. Your boss shames you. Some religions shame you, right? Some customers shame you. Like, they're shaming everywhere that happens. Number 3. So we know where we're at. We're willing to change. Now we have to build a new identity. We get brave and go, okay, I'm going to build my Iron Man identity. It's funny, I had a guy working here the other day, Dean, doing some modification. He went to pat me on the chest or something, and he goes, what the hell is that? Because I wear this Ryan, this big, I had this special, it's my favorite necklace, this crystal necklace, and it's big. He goes, what the hell's that? What are you, like Iron Man? I said, yeah, I have like an energy core. I put this energy core on, right? Like, you have to be willing to build a new identity, to put a new energy core in. Once you do that, we got to live this new identity. We got to live it. Once we live it, we have to be consistent with it. If one day is miserable and you're like, I hate my life, I hate it. And another day you're like, I love things, it's great. I hate it, I love it. Well, then your identity is constantly flip-flopping back and forth. And the last part is, you have to know when your identity becomes your old identity, and you need to repeat this process. Now, you answer this for me. Do you think identity is a one-time thing you do? What do you think? You think you just do it once and you're done? No, you don't do it once and you're done. Do you want me to give you the secret that nobody talks about in identity? Type in secret. I'll give you the secret that nobody talks about with identity. Here's the secret. It's not one identity. Let's go back to the wheel. See this wheel here? There is a different identity for every area of this wheel, Ryan. You have a wealth identity. You have a career and work or business identity. You have a health identity. The reason why you win in one area, oh, this is so good. I'm making this point for you. Okay, type in so good in the chat bar. This is so good right now. The reason why people with one identity suffer in one area of the wheel and not the other is because people tried to tell them, here's the one super person you have to be. Like, just be, your identity is happy. Your identity is motivated. Your identity is love life. That's enough. I know a lot of people love life and they're broke off their ass. Is that possible? Type impossible in chat. Do you know people love life, broke off their ass? So what I learned was, wait a second. It's not one identity. It's an identity in each area of this wheel that works together. But it's a very different identity for each one. Let me make one more point to sink it home. When I'm focused, when you're in your family identity, are you different than when you're in your business identity? Look, when I went to business, I was focused, dedicated, ready, attacking things. When I came home, my family identity was hugging my children, blowing bubbles on their belly, chasing them around. Very different identities. One was an intense, focused, and one was a very supportive and loving, right? Very different identities. Now, if we get these identities working together, tell me how powerful this wheel will move if you get an identity aligned in every one of these. Tell me what changes in your life. I know what changes. I did it myself. There's so many gurus out there today trying to talk about how you change their lives, and like, okay, so really great. They built a big company, they destroyed their marriage. So now they want to teach you how to not destroy your marriage. I'd be impressed if you didn't destroy your marriage and told me how to keep that sucker going. What do you think? Would that be helpful? Type in helpful. I mean, that's what would be helpful for me, right? Okay. Now, here's the thing you want to know about this wheel. What's up, Joe? In the middle, why is the level 10 in the middle? What do you think? Excuse me. Why is the level 10 in the middle? Because, ready? All the power, thank you, Sean, all the power and all the change and everything that creates every outer result is internal, Ryan. When you have conflict in things, or you're fighting with yourself, or people say I was off track, you were off track on the inside. Off track on the inside. Okay, let's go back to here. So now that we're here and we went through, let's do a quick review because this will be beneficial. And then I want you to type in from each quick review, okay, this is something I need to focus on. Ready? Strategy number 1, shift your thinking. What do you have to focus on here? Put one thing in the chat bar. Go. What is it? Reframe, new reality, creativity, reframing. Nice job, Sherry. Reframe. Okay, cool. Number 2, what do you have to do here about raising the ceiling of life? What do you got to do? Greater drive? Is it elevated perspective? Surround yourself with experts? What is it? Learn, drive, more actions, surround. Yeah, very good, very good. Enhance all areas of your life. What do you have to do here? What area? Pretty easy. Shift your identity in every single area here. Shift your identity in every single area. Look inward. Very good, Sean. Shift all areas. Okay. What happened here? Number 3. Oh, Aaron, did you see that? We went from number 3 here to number 5. Huh.
It was just too secret. I had to take it out, I guess.
Okay. It was too good. We only covered that on the training. Okay. We only cover, you got to pay for that, I guess. It was secret, super secret. I think I gave you enough secrets tonight. Okay. Number 5, massive relentless action. What's your big takeaway from this? What do you have to do right here? Tell me what you have to do. Momentum, expand your thinking, focus. Yeah, remember, let's go back to the beginning. Why are we here? Recession. Okay. Can you give me something, Greg? Type in the chat bar, everybody. Am I helping you recession-proof your mind some? Am I? Can you type in the chat bar? Am I helping you recession-proof? Okay, thank you. Okay. Who needs to hear this information? Type in the chat bar, like, who needs to hear this information? Everyone. So if you have a group of people and you want me either to deliver this to them or you want us to get a recording so you can play it, let's do it. We keep moving. We got people. Well, type in real quick, because I didn't ask in the beginning, where are you watching? Where are you at in the world? Where are you at in the world? Because our goal is to impact 100 countries, 1 million people or more. Sydney, Pittsburgh, Bermuda, Canada. Okay. Mars, you and me both, brother. You and me both. I just came back to do this training because I knew you were coming here from Mars too. Tennessee. Okay. New Jersey, of course. Always old school Jersey, got to be in there. All right. And then number 6, give me your big takeaway from this. California. Jason, I'm coming to California. Coming back to Cali. So make sure we connect. Okay. Number 6. What's your big takeaway here? What do you have to do? Be consistent in your many identities. Yes, which means, okay, ready, Mr. Bill Miller? Evaluate where you're at in your relationship identity. Evaluate where you're at in your health identity. Evaluate where you're at in your spiritual identity. Follow this process. Now, the cool thing is, if you're interested, not here, if you're not, it's cool. I'll tell you what I would do. It's not self-serving at all. You guys know that I did 2 huge transactions in 5 years. I'm not here trying to get your $500. God, you should know that, right? But I do know if you don't invest, people that don't pay, they don't pay any attention. I know that for a fact. I learned that after many, many years. Here's what I would consider doing. If you want to work with me and the team, going through all 10 areas and getting you dialed in on your identity, that's what we're going to do. 2 nights a week over 2 weeks. There's 1 week in between. Or I should have showed a calendar. Aaron, just get all the dates in there. So there's 2 dates. Then there's a break week because we've given you some stuff to do, and then 2 weeks. So it's pretty much 3 weeks, but only 2 nights 1 week and 2 nights the last week. The week in between, here's the deal. We will shift and change the game forever. I promise you that. If after the second training, you're like, F you, not good, life's not changing, things are not shifting, just let me know, we'll give you your money back. It's no big deal. In all the years that I was running CEO Warrior, I've never given money back. I never had to, okay? Because look, we had 20 companies sell in the last 15 months, all right, at CEO Warrior. We created 20 multi-millionaires, and I think 60 or 70% of them are decamillionaires. If you don't know what the hell that is, that means 10 million or more in their bank account, which is kind of really cool. I'm super proud. Should I be proud of that? Can you type in proud, the chat bar? I mean, I'm pretty damn proud of that. Okay, so there's the things. If you want, the team put the info, call us if you have any questions, hit me up. Here's 3 great quotes, okay? You can take a picture of this if you want. Make your identity your next mission. I'm super honored, Brian, to have served you and your beautiful wife. Super, super honored. Make your identity your next mission. A recession is the result of an unchanging identity. Let me say it again. A recession is the result of an unchanging identity. If you think that's a boom, maybe give a big boom in the chat bar. Number 2, opportunities are abundant and everywhere. They are. They're everywhere. You may not be at the level to see it or find it, but they're everywhere. And number 3, I am a creator of my own reality. If you create suffering, you'll have suffering. If you create grace, you'll have grace. If you create fun, you'll have fun. I am a creator of my own reality. Okay. Last part, they'll put the link in the chat bar. If you need the link, or if you're interested in coming, spending 2 nights a week over 2 weeks with us, I'd love to spend time with you. It goes from 7 to roughly 9:30. So it might be a little early for some, a little late, but I mean, what's it like you're investing in your greatest future ever. What I want to let you know is this identity. If I could share a little bit of, I do have some reason I really want to push this on you is one thing. I know that the greater we make the people, the greater we shift the earth. And I don't know who is kids, type in kids, your kids. Like, I think we have to start to take responsibility of how we think ourselves, because that's the only way we're going to create a world that thinks at a higher level, right? It's our responsibility to help these next generations that come in think. And the only way we could do that, and the last thing I'll share with you before I let you go tonight, we got done a little early because you guys are so efficient, is if we change our identity, we become a model for everyone that's close to us. Did you hear what I said? When we change our identity, we become a model for everyone that's close to us. If you're a bitcher and complainer, you're creating kids that are bitchers and complainers, and they will create a world of complaining. And we have to do our part to change this. We have to. Otherwise, what do? Leave it up to hope? I don't believe in the word hope. I believe in the word action. That's what I want for all of you today. Type in your big takeaway. I'm super honored to serve all of you. I know this was massive, massive value for you if you execute on it. And if you want us to share this or deliver this to somebody, let me know. Make sure you're in the free Facebook group, the personal growth group. Execute on it. Perfect. Let me see who else is on here. Jill, super nice to see you. Take action. There you go. Boom. Raise the ceiling of your life. Nathaniel, super great. Yes, Emily. Emily was thinking it. She probably told you to write that. Okay. You were both thinking it. Okay. Big old boom. Focus and action. Anthony Foster, super nice to see you here. Jason Kirby. All right, everybody. Love you guys. Have a great night. I really want to see you on the training. Just hit us up. Boom.